Hi everyone, and welcome to another Bass Singer first time reaction and analysis. Today, I am giving the people what they want, and I am checking out Ain't No Sunshine, originally by Bill Withers, and of course this is the Bass Singer cover by the man, the myth, the legend, Geoff Castellucci. Very excited to hear this. I've heard so many great things, and it's always my desire to do a video for all of Geoff's music, but I have not gotten to all of them lately. There's been a lot on my plate, as you guys know, but I'm happy to do this one. Very happy to see what he does with this classic song, and so we're going to get into that. But before, I mentioned in my BTS videos that I am officially sponsored. I've gotten about 25 to 30 offers, and I really choose to only work with companies that I believe in and products that I will actually want to use, and I think you guys might actually want to use. So this is the second sponsorship, and I'm going to show a video for them right now. Today's video is sponsored by Ewin Racing Gaming Chairs and Desks. Ewin Racing makes super high quality chairs and desks that are used for anything from professional gamers to your standard office use. Now, Ewin was kind enough for this sponsorship to send me this chair to try out. This is from their Ewin Champion series, and it's an ergonomic gaming office chair. Now I'm going to scoot back a bit so I can show off some of these amazing features. First, we have the 4D armrests. They go forward and back, side to side, and they go up and down. The second unique feature about this chair is that it actually holds up to 400 pounds instead of the standard chairs, which only hold up to 300 pounds. And I can assure you, while assembling, I was able to see just how durable and strong the materials were that go into creating a chair like this. The chair also spins, of course, which is standard for the best office chairs. And of course, as you can see, the chair rolls as well. So you can be mobile while you're gaming or working on a project or whatever you want, really. This chair is also perfect for lounging. With the highly adjustable backrest, you can do anything from taking a nap to sitting up and being extra attentive. Excuse me, teacher, what was the next question? Preferably, I like mine somewhere in the middle, so I can sit back if I need to get a look at the bigger picture of something I'm working on. Or, if I'm actually actively working on something, I'll be leaned forward and I'll be engaged. And the last thing I want to mention about this chair is that it consists entirely of this breathable, perforated leather. So everyone, if you, like me, were in the market for an extremely high quality chair that could be used for working on projects, or gaming, or lounging and watching movies, or taking a nap, really anything, this is one of the highest quality chairs that you can purchase. Definitely follow the affiliate link in the description below and use code PETERBARBER for 20% off and get yourself one of these fantastic Ewin Racing heavy-duty gaming chairs. You will not regret it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and enjoy the next video. Ciao. So I hope you guys enjoyed that, and please like this video, please subscribe to the channel. It takes no time, it's absolutely free, it really helps my channel grow. Please comment, all that good stuff, all that engagement. And if you're really enjoying what I'm doing, please consider donating to my Patreon for as little as $1 a month for behind the scenes access, one-on-one interaction with me, and much cooler, more behind the scenes kind of stuff as you go higher in the tiers. A lot of really good stuff, and the Patreon family is now at over 200 patrons, which is just crazy to me. So shout out to the Patreon family. And one last plug, by the time this video comes out, it will be almost time for May the Bass Be With You Volume 2 with the Bass Gang. 4 songs that we could not be more excited to share with you guys, and on each song, there's a special featured guest. All names you will recognize, and you'll be so excited to see who we are working with. Some very big people on YouTube. And we're just so excited, and we can't wait to share it with you all. So that's coming out very soon. But without further ado, let's dive into Ain't No Sunshine by Bill Withers, Bass Singer cover by Geoff Castellucci. A lot of soul here. A minor. Oh. Woo, that's already mean, baby. That's already mean. Aside from that, just some pretty basic harmonies. I believe all these Geoffs are on an which is a nice blend, a nice intimate, soft way to begin this piece. Let's back it all the way up. Okay, cool. So we have just an A minor chord being held, while Geoff does he does that riffing section, and he also did it an octave higher as well. So we had the A minor chord, we had Geoff in the low octave, then another Geoff doing exactly one octave above. But it's cool. We're getting this. Like there's clashes here and there as he's going in and out of what fits into that chordal context. Nice, a really very cool intro and subtle and understated and not in your face, and I absolutely love it. Let's keep going.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. It's not warm when she's away. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away.
Man, ooh, I'm like hearing where this song could go, and I'm very excited because Geoff always pushes it. He always pushes the boundaries of artistic expression within the context of his music, and it's always super creative, and I'm very excited. It's got all the vibes that I like so far. It was cool. He actually broke into this solo kind of a few measures. I was waiting for that intro to resolve more, and it was like the solo kind of came out of thin air here. Sooner than I expected.
Ain't no sunshine.
So you'd expect, ain't no sunshine, but he just comes in a little bit earlier than you might expect.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Oh.
It's not
E2s, yep.
warm when she's away.
And he's keeping the vocal line very simple. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. What's the next line?
When she's gone, it's not warm.
It's not warm when she's away. So he's not adding riffs and stuff. This is very true to the melody of the original piece. Done. I don't know what key the original's in. Bill Withers has a pretty high voice, so this could be a full octave down, actually.
When she's away, ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
A vocal fry scoop. I know. Geoff loves the scoop, and it's very fitting in this song, I would say, especially.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone, and this house just ain't no home anytime she goes away.
He's teasing us there. I thought it was going to go way down to an A1. We'll get the A1, I have no doubt. C2.
Anytime she goes away.
Wait. No, it isn't A. Okay. What was that? Doot. I was not expecting any kind of remix-like editing happening on this song. Geoff, you dirty boy. And And there's that. I mean, and a nice breathy one. I like it when Geoff takes that timbre, because often when you hear Geoff do his big low notes, he's got all this huge cavernous bassy backspace and like over darkening to give it that uber like supernatural bass effect, and it works so well when he does it for that effect. But I also like it when he pulls it back and does a much more natural sound. This is a comment I made about a lot of the A naturals, I believe, in his Shenandoah cover. You know, just like exactly how his voice sounds if he just descends into that low part of his chest range without pushing. Maybe morning voice, maybe whatever. I mean, it is still extremely low, but without any force to it, without adding any power to it. Again, it's a very modest, humble way of revealing your low notes, to just sing them natural and not give them any extra juice. I love it. Absolutely love it.
Anytime she goes away.
Yeah. Okay, so he's already tampering a little bit with it. I know. That just keeps up in the original. He already was doing something. He's already picking his own rhythms there a little bit. He's switching it up just enough to notice from the original. Oh, now that. Does that not sound like Misty Mountains to you? Are over. Same exact notes in that minor key. Well, same exact notes within the context of this key, which is a different key than he's saying Misty Mountains. You get the point. This one's a full step higher.
I wonder this time where she's gone. I wonder if she's gonna stay.
Okay. All right. We have a lot of things to talk about. Woo! Yeah! Okay. So first of all, we have this cool, like, old, 50s record player kind of... You can add that as an audio effect in any kind of audio workstation. You can actually put an effect on a sound that is like an old record player, where it adds that static, it adds that impure quality. But, I believe when Bill Withers made this record, in Bill Withers' time, record player was the most modern form of audio production in terms of replaying a produced sound. So perhaps a nice throwback there, and also the outfit, the whole vibe of the house, everything seems structured towards the time, the middle of the 20th century when this would have been coming out. I believe, right? Bill Withers, 20th, like 60s, I think. Anyway, let's see what's going on here vocally.
I wonder this time
so octave up.
She's gone.
You gotta think, is that... Is he doing subs with a bunch of effects on it, or is it actually using like some kind of modulated bass guitar?
She's gone.
I mean, I'm guessing he's doing subs and it just has a lot of audio effects on it. Because... these aren't totally a cappella pieces, but Geoff does do a lot of extra layered vocals, far more than if this were just a pure instrumental and voice cover,
Wonder if she's gonna stay.
Okay, so there was one of his darkened A ones there. Now, not a pure highlight of the piece, is kind of in the background, but even so, that timbre cuts through and it becomes very clear when he's doing that kind of low chest technique. There we go. There was, so I think when it gets down to like a G, normally that's when it really, his voice needs to kind of open up the space back there to accommodate for the pitch. Yeah, let's go back just a bit. There's some cool, not like high harmonies, but just let's see what's going on in these background parts.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Something like that.
Ain't no sunshine when
Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Okay, so yeah, just a, I think just a 2-part harmony.
she's gone. Oh, she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away. Anytime.
That Misty Mountains vibe. Oh, I love this. This little whoop. They're just like these tiny little, I think, like organ or piano strikes happening all the way in the left ear. Very subtle. You would probably need, you might not even be able to hear them with something like Apple earbuds. You might need like studio headphones. Blunk, blunk, blunk. Just like very, very subtly added, soft, like piano. I don't know if it's piano or organ strikes happening in the left ear. Of course, when I record these screen records, it's in mono, so you'll hear it in the middle, which might make it really tough to hear, but just listen to that. Yeah, it's like a muted electronic keyboard. I know. Jeez Louise.
Oh, you ought to leave a young thing alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Leave your... See how high I got up in there in that chest.
Leave a young thing.
Leave G-A. Yeah, G4. Leave your friend alone.
Alone, but ain't no sunshine when she's gone.
Now, of course, that's a departure from the original as well, kind of sustaining that chord. The original is very, it is repetitive, truth be told. And Geoff's doing a lot of things to kind of switch it up a little bit. He's adding, obviously, all his own parts, but he's also adding measures here and there, like he just did. He just added like a, I don't know, like a 2/4 measure or something.
No sunshine when she's gone.
Yeah.
Only darkness every day.
A4 and chest? It felt more like a mix. A mix with good heft behind it though. Not like not a weak mix. Not just like a weak falsetto. A nice hefty mix.
She's gone. Only darkness every day.
But also there's some kind of there are effects on it as well, so it's not a totally natural sound. Just meaning there's effects on it, not meaning it's like produced unnaturally.
Only darkness every day. Whoa, no sunshine when she's gone. And this house just ain't no home.
That went to major. The 4 of the 4 of the D major.
And this house just ain't no home.
What? 4 major in a minor key? Hello. Super cool.
And this house just ain't no home. Anytime.
That is modulated. Listen to that timbre. You can tell it's a fake vocal timbre. He just sang whatever, probably an octave up from there, and they just tuned it down. Obviously not because it's a range issue. It's just for effect. But I'm 99% sure that has been modulated down in pitch, which if you take a note and you modulate it down in pitch without changing the parameters, it gets like very like dark and like as if the person had a gigantic pharynx is how it would work from an audio engineering standpoint. But listen to that in the background. I love that. She goes away. Yes. Give me that breathy A1. Oh, okay, so now we have all these voices doing that riff he did at the beginning. Nice. Very nice. Super. Oh boy. Oh, what have I done? Obviously already subscribed to Geoff. Give that a like. Kabam. Okay. Super creative. And made it creative without changing that much from the vibe of the original. People were saying like dubsteppy stuff, and I totally get that. There was that very synthy bass that came in that was like maybe a subharmonic with a bunch of effects on it, or maybe just an instrument, because Geoff uses instruments in these covers. It was really interesting. There were these like hints of like that remix feel. Like he would be like note to note note, and he would like add a few syllables there, and he would do a couple where it was the audio was clearly chopped up intentionally. It was just like whispers of a remix. But he didn't take it all the way there. Which, who knows, it could have been a complete abomination and insulting to the original if he took it all the way there. So he stayed in more of a safe space that way as far as to how far he could have gone in that dubsteppy remix direction. Could have taken it really far and like really changed the song. But doing it this way maintained the core of the original in every way, from the instrumentation to the background vocals to the solo itself. Even an octave down, I feel like it captured the ethos and the pathos of the original quite nicely. The costuming was there, the set was there in terms of that kind of mid-20th century style house and wardrobe. So just all together, very well put together, and I would say if I really thought this was a boring transcription, and I don't think it was. I really do think he added a lot of his creative spin as he always does. I also think the original is a pretty short song. I think it's closer to 2 minutes, because that was pretty standard in that part of the in the mid to mid late 20th century to have much shorter songs. That's a big reason why the Beatles, a lot of their songs are super short, is because like radio playtime, you wanted to aim for like a really digestible length of song, which was like 2 minutes, a little over 2 minutes. So if memory serves, I think the Bill Withers original is like 2 minutes and 20 seconds or something. So Geoff did add a solid minute onto this with a number of those breakdowns. Which there's something to be said just for that, to add on a minute to a song that's already repetitive and have it stay fresh and stay interesting. But again, you know, watching Geoff all these years, the last couple years, it's no surprise when he does something creative. It's like expected. If Geoff did a boring cover, I would be shocked because it's just not in his creative nature, and he always brings it creatively, and he always executes it well, and always bass vocals super on point. It was really nice hearing Geoff do that really relaxed version of his low notes. I think there's a time and a place for that, and I think this kind of song is the time and the place for that. Songs like Shenandoah, songs like this, the Misty Mountains that have become these bass anthems, I think that is the time to do that overdarkened, really like extra bassified sound that he does. 16 tons, you know, songs like that where it's just like, you're just asking for it. You just want all the bass and more, right? I realized I didn't put on my Pit Vipers. The thing is, solid low A's in solo pretty much always deserve Pit Vipers, but Geoff has just he's made it hard for himself to get Pit Vipers because of the low notes he's put down in covers so far. You compare these low notes, and like I said, I love them. They're more natural. They're freer. They're breathier. They're more relaxed. But the Pit Vipers are for like those freaky low notes. You know, the ones that are just make you go, ugh, like, ugh, how? It's really for the freaky low notes, and like his low G in Misty Mountains, or his A flats in 16 tons, or House of the Rising Sun, as I see here. Those are like freaky low notes when he's doing that crazy bass thing. So instead of Pit Vipers, he's just getting all my respect for just letting his voice descend into that region, have it be just totally natural. I love it. I love it. I think it's super fitting for this song. And it shows how far he can take his range down without pushing. Clearly he has comfortable A1s. Maybe record in the morning, whatever, who cares? Most bass singers, pretty much all bass singers I know, record their lowest stuff in the morning. Because that's when the voices, it just sits lower. Anyway, really cool arrangement. Geoff, you're the man. I love your stuff. And if you're watching, I hope you enjoy the analysis. And everyone else, I hope you enjoy the analysis and learned a thing or two about this. I hope this gives you enjoyment as you continue to listen back, as you will. All of Geoff's songs are evergreen, in my opinion. Yeah, that's it, guys. Look out for the Bass Gang stuff. Go check out the sponsorship. Amazing, amazing products. I would not advertise for them if I didn't believe that. And join my Patreon if you want super cool, awesome extra perks in addition to early access and behind the scenes stuff. And I will see you guys in the next one.